Hey y'all, good afternoon. I hope all is well. I look awake, but I'm sleepy. Anyway, I wanted to get on here today to read 2 Corinthians chapter 2. It's been on my mind for a few days now, and I just wanted to share with y'all. It's about setting boundaries, but in a healthy way, not in a destructive way. And I do feel like I truly believe there are destructive ways that we can have boundaries, and then there are healthy ways that we can have boundaries. So let's get into it. Y'all ready? Here we go. Okay, 2 Corinthians chapter 2. Let's do verses 1 through 4. Okay? In fact, I made up my mind about this. I would not come to you on another painful visit. For if I cause you pain, then who will cheer me other than the one being hurt by me? So let me say that again. In fact, I made up my mind about this. I would not come to you on another painful visit. For if I cause you pain, then who will cheer me other than the one being hurt by me? I wrote this very thing so that when I came, I wouldn't have pain from those who ought to give me joy, because I'm confident about all of you that my joy will also be yours. For I wrote to you with many tears out of an extremely troubled and anguished heart, not to cause you pain, but that you should know the abundant love I have for you. This is beautiful because it not only shows us how to have such a healthy boundary to where we're saying, look, I don't want to hurt you anymore. If I've caused you pain, then I'm going to step back from you. I'm going to let you have the space that you're requesting of, because I've put that pain there on you, and I don't want to do that. That's not my plan. That is not my intention. He's saying that I wrote, this is Paul telling the church, he's saying, I wrote to you with these tears, meaning his heart is in pain because of what he thinks he might have caused for someone else. That's powerful to me. And if I'm wrong, absolutely send messages, correct me. I'm all for it. I'm okay with being corrected. And I love good criticism. As long as it's healthy, bring it to me. We can even talk about it. I'm grateful for it. Because that's how you know you're growing in the Lord Jesus. If someone corrects you, you say, you know what, you're right. Let me go back and look at that again. But when I'm reading through it, and as I read through it before I even got on here, I thought to myself, wow, because I've had moments in my life where I've had to separate people, but I love them so much that I just didn't want to keep hurting them. I thought to myself, if my presence around you is killing you that much to where you don't even want to communicate with me, you barely want to look at me, so I shouldn't come around anymore. And not because I dislike you or because I'm bothered by you, but because I don't want you hurting anymore. And if I'm the one causing your hurt, then I don't want to be around that. I don't want to bring myself around to cause you pain. And I love that that's there, because right there, we're being taught how to set a healthy boundary to where we're thinking of the other person, not just ourselves. The boundary that's focused on me is the boundary that says, well, I don't want to be around them. They hurt my feelings. I'm offended. I don't want nothing to do with them. No, that's not what he's saying. Paul here is saying that if I cause pain to any one of you that I have a deep love for, then I will not come for another visit. You know, he says it there. He says, I made up my mind about this. I would not come to you on another painful visit. For if I cause you pain, then who will cheer me other than the one being hurt by me? That's real. Do you know how many times those thoughts have replayed in my mind, going around certain family members or certain friends, and realizing in my own heart and in my mind that obviously they don't want me here. And I need to actually have respect for that and step back. And whatever pain I've caused, if they don't even have it in their minds, or maybe it's so intense that they can't talk to me about it, then I have to ask the Lord to help their hearts to forgive me and pray that the Lord restore that if it's meant to be restored, and then move forward. But for now, accept where it is and leave them alone and give them that space to say, you know what? I pray you forgive me. I hope that you understand how much I do love you. But there's also the point of I have to stop forcing something to happen that's not ready to happen yet. Okay? And I love that he says that, because he says, I wrote this very thing so that when I came, I wouldn't have pain from those who ought to give me joy. It means, you guys, it's that intense. Literally. I know what he's talking about. I've had moments where I've written people whole messages and didn't get a response. Whole apologies. Or I've even tried to call the person and didn't get a response. And I thought to myself, okay, well, maybe it's something wrong with me. But Paul there is saying, no, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with any of us. The issue is that the pain that's been caused is so great that they're not going to respond, you know. But I understand him. He said, I wrote, you know, so before he even thought about not coming, he wrote. And when he wrote, he was crying. He says, for I wrote to you with many tears out of an extremely troubled and anguished heart. That's real. I can agree. Can you agree? Have you had moments and times where you have maybe messed up so bad, or it wasn't even so bad that you thought, but maybe for that person who you messed up with, it was that bad. And you wrote them and apologized to them, and you were trying to call them, communicate with them, but they're not answering. They're not responding. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to deal with it at all, right? But you've done your part in pleading with them, asking for forgiveness, you know, and still no response. And he says, now listen to this. I like this, because he says, for I wrote to you with many tears out of an extremely troubled and anguished heart, not to cause you pain. Understand? So people out there that are offended, when you get offended, if a person apologizes and they apologize with a long letter, read it. Understand that they're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it because they have an abundant love for you, which is what he goes on to say. He says, not to cause you pain, but that you should know the abundant love I have for you. So meaning people out there who have lived in just a cycle of not being forgiven, understand that if your heart is correct, the Lord can see your heart. Just because that person doesn't want to forgive you, that's something that they have to deal with them and the Lord. Paul is showing us example of how to set healthy boundaries and just say, you know what? I won't come around because I'm causing pain to that person, to that family member, to that friend, to that loved one. I've been there. I've been at those points in my life where I've had to say, you know what? I won't come around anymore. I won't bring my family around anymore, because I understand that when I do that, I'm literally breaking a heart at the moment. You know, apparently I'm hurting feelings. I'm causing pain internally for this person. That's not my goal. That's not my want. Paul is saying really clear, only this is for those that know you carry love for somebody you hurt intentionally, or even if it was unintentional, but they still was hurt from it. And you're trying to mend that relationship, but they don't want that yet. He's saying step back. He said make that choice to say, you know what? I'm going to step back from it. I'm going to release it. But he's explaining, this is why I did what I did. This is why I wrote the letter. This is why I made the phone call. This is why I sent the text message. Will it be received? We don't know. Will it be accepted? You don't know. I don't know. Whatever someone is going to do, that's what they choose. But we learned today, set healthy boundaries.